Dracula. The mere utterance of his name brings forth the most terrifying nightmares. Like a first date who casually asks, "What do you know about rabies?" Like a chef who cooks your shrimp with a magnifying glass and the sun. Like babysitting your sister's kids, and it's only after she speeds away that you notice the children are carrying luggage. I am legendary Hollywood narrator, Chardonnay Wafflehutt, and I was asked to do an exclusive interview with someone who claims to know the hidden history of Dracula. An exclusive interview that was not part of my original contract. When the subject of payment was brought forth, they gave me the last diet soda in the cooler. My guest was what he described as a frontline historian and shared details even the experts missed. He also wished to remain anonymous. Therefore, this interview took place in El Paso, in a tool shed behind a Chipotle. Already doing this.
Greetings. Allow me to ask, do you feel your life is endangered by talking to us?
Dracula's world is one people can't imagine. You do not want the Prince of Darkness as your enemy. Equally, being Dracula's ally makes you a target of very powerful enemies in their own right.
Yes, Dracula's lost diary mentions them. Have you heard the audio recordings?
The recordings? No.
Well, the list of enemies is intimidating, even for a Lord of the Undead. Let's play a few actual voices from the recordings, and any commentary you can share would help our audience. The first is Sister Agnes and her warrior nuns.
Kill them! Destroy Satan's bullhunk and his disease-ridden trollop! Erase them, my holy badass sisters!
Yes, they're the Holy Church's first line of defense against horny vampires. The Secret Sisterhood of the Divine Travelling Ya-Yas. Sister Agnes is the mofo superior.
Charming. Next is a vampire hunter disguised as a tea and scone shop owner.
Here, in this hectic city, people walk in and out of my tea and scone shop to buy scrumptious pastries and breakfast goodies. They couldn't imagine that every inch of my body can be used as a holy weapon of God. And they don't even want to know how I make the donuts.
That's Teabag McJoy. He belongs to the Ancient Order of the Persino Corn.
This list could go on for hours, but let's just do one more. Intriguing enemy seems to be a spy. Uses prostitutes to collect his information. His name is S.D. Batang.
Idaho?
Just because it got the word hoe in it don't mean everybody doing it. Idaho, Idaho, Idaho. It don't work like that.
S.D. Batang is the only Vatican-sanctioned street pimp. His network of info hoes cover the entire world.
There was one person mentioned throughout the diary, but we couldn't tell which side she was on. A German assassin named Gretchen von Strudelheimen. Obviously sent to kill Dracula, but some entries seem rather romantic in nature.
Yeah, Gretchen. Dracula doesn't like to discuss her. I'd like to skip that one.
You answered that in the present tense. Some experts claim the diary recordings lead listeners to believe Dracula is still alive, so to speak, in today's world. What do you say to that?
Listen to the podcast. I mean, wow. Imagine if he was in today's world. Imagine if he was in some new land like America, right now. Wow.
The two brothers who found the ancient recordings in Transylvania said they followed an armadillo into a cave, leading them to the clay jars. Do you believe that story?
Anything is possible. I mean, something led them into that cave.
But armadillos are not indigenous to Europe. They're only in the Americas.
Well, that's just profiling, yo.
I want to thank you for coming forward, for your courage. I do have to ask, while I understand you're wishing to remain anonymous, why are you sitting in shadow?
Your staff said it would protect my identity.
We all saw you walk in. Who thought? Madison, this is an audio podcast. We have a listening audience. Listening. No, not the same thing.
Well, podcasters, I have to catch a plane.
I understand Bryce is a lighting expert, Madison, but unless you hang with the mutated, most listeners cannot see with their ears.
I hope you find Dracula's Winkee fascinating, frightening, and fun. He's a great guy once you get to know him. Take my word for it. Me? Oh, you'll be meeting me soon enough.
And we're out of diet soda! I can't even!